Good morning, guys. It's Lori, the frugal mom here, and Oreo. And Mittens is here too, but he's on the other side of the love seat. So I'm trying to keep my voice down because my sister's still resting, and I figured I would just pop on here. It's early morning. It's 6 o'clock. I'm about to wake my son up in a little bit for school, but I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about something that affects a lot of us. So if you have a loved one that's dealing with mental health issues, and if you yourself are, whether it be mild, severe, or somewhere in between, I see you. I really do. Because I deal with someone that I love who has mental health issues, and I do too. I have anxiety. It's treated, it's under control, well, most of the time, because sometimes my loved one provokes that anxiety or triggers it with their behavior and makes it hard. I'll have a panic attack, but I've learned how to handle it myself. I go to therapy and I take medication. I take an antidepressant at night, and it really helps. It takes the edge off, and I can tell you that I don't know what I would do if I wasn't taking that medication to help me, because when my loved one acts up, it's a lot, and I can't imagine what the anxiety would be like without that medication in my system. And yeah, so medication's not for everyone. If it's something you don't feel comfortable with, by all means, do what you feel is necessary. Therapy, I think, is important. I know that not every area has clinics that offer a sliding scale if you're low income, and it can be expensive. But if you have that available to you, I would encourage you to utilize it, because it will definitely help you. It'll give you some coping mechanisms. It will help you to help your loved ones in some cases, and sometimes you just need to talk about just how stressful and upsetting it is. You need to have an ear, and you can't talk to everybody about this. This is just not something you can call up a friend on a daily basis and be like, hey, do you know what happened here? Because unfortunately, no matter how much people love us, some people just are not capable of listening to that sort of thing. And they don't want to, unfortunately. It takes a rare bird to really, truly be there for you 100%. And some people just can't handle it. It's true. So, my other advice for you is to find something that you like to do to kind of distract you, to keep you in a good place mentally yourself. Find a hobby, an activity. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. I like to go for walks. I love to read, listen to music, watch TV, of course. You guys know I love to cook. I love my cats, right? Right, Oreo? Look at mommy. Pretty girl. Now she's going to be shy, right? So find something that you like, whatever it may be. Healthy, of course. You don't want to get into like alcohol or drugs or anything like that, or excessive spending. And do that for yourself. Self-care is also so important. And I know I don't often practice enough of it, because especially when we're caregivers, we don't have enough to pour back into ourselves. And I need to take my own advice better. So I can tell you that you definitely cannot pour from a half empty or an empty cup. So it's something that I need to start doing more myself. But self-care doesn't matter what it is. And it doesn't have to be anything that you leave your house to do. It could be a bath, giving yourself a pedicure, dyeing your hair. I did do that last week. That's why it's so dark. Indulging in a favorite meal. Going to bed early, just sitting up in bed in your clean sheets on clean sheet day after a nice hot shower. Anything that relaxes you and feels good. Sometimes I like to buy myself clearance flowers at the grocery store, because I love flowers. And hey, It's like that song says, I don't have anybody to buy me flowers, so I can buy myself flowers. You know, Walmart has little bouquets sometimes for $3 or $4. You know, like, once in a while, that's an okay thing to do. You know, I'll treat myself to a Dunkin' coffee, like, you know, usually twice a month. And if I'm working, you know, a little bit more than that. Lately I've had gift cards that I got for my birthday and Mother's Day, but I'm just about done with those. I'm trying to think what else I'll do for self-care. Some people love to garden. I am late planting my vegetables. I have to get on that. So if it's nice this weekend, I'm going to do that. But if that's something you like to do, go for it. You know, take time for yourself. Love yourself. It's important, because there are some days where you're going to be dealing with a lot, especially if you're the caregiver for somebody with these issues, and you need to be as tip-top as you can be mentally. I've learned how to, oh gosh, what is the word that I'm looking for? Oh, self-regulate my emotions. Sometimes it's harder than others. And unfortunately, the person in my life with the issues, they haven't yet. But I just wanted you guys to know that I see you. If you have, you know, if you have any idea of hurting yourself, or your loved one does, I cannot remember the number to call. Of course, you can always call 911 and get yourself taken to the hospital for an evaluation, but there is a hotline. I think it's 988, but I'll put it in the description, where you can call and talk to someone. Whatever it is, whatever you need to do, please get yourself help. Please. And know that you're not alone. We're all in this together. There's a lot going on in the world right now, as well as in our personal lives. More than enough to get you down, more than enough to get you anxious, but you'll get through it. We'll all get through it. And if you're dealing with these issues, know that so many people are, and there's a lot of caregivers that are too. And you can also, if you're a churchgoer, if you're religious, you can talk to your clergy about this as well. You know, maybe not to the same extent that, you know, you could a therapist, but if you need to sit and pray with somebody, that would be an excellent thing to do if you're a person of faith. So I hope that you guys have a nice weekend. And if this is the type of content that you like, it's not just all just chatting, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and like and share. I focus a lot on frugal living, of course. I'm the frugal mom, right? Frugal cooking, frugal housekeeping and homemaking, frugal grocery hauls, food pantry blessings, dealing with chronic health issues with grace, living an abundant life on a low income, all things being mom, all things midlife for us ladies. So I like to keep it real with you guys, and that's another part of this video. You gotta keep it real with each other, right? So many people get offended when you talk about things that make them uncomfortable. And you know what? I'm not even going to apologize. If some of the things I talk about make you uncomfortable, then don't watch. So, with that, as always, I am sending lots of love from New Jersey. It's a hot one here in Jersey today. It's supposed to rain over the weekend. I hope that it doesn't rain the whole weekend, but we do need some rain. At night would be nice. That way it's dry in the morning. I got my air conditioner on. Let's see. I'm working on getting the laundry for the house done before it gets too hot. I like to start it early, so I don't overwork the air conditioner. Emptied the dishwasher, did the dishes, took care of the kitties, litter pans, and feeding them and all that good stuff. I have to get to the food pantry later, and yes, I will try my best to make a video to show you what I got. It depends on what I have to do when I get home, because, as you guys know, I'm taking care of my sister while she's dealing with an injury, and if I have something going on with Matt. But I do want to share that with you. Let's cross our fingers that they're well stocked. What a blessing they are. So, I will let you guys go, and I will see you in the next one. Right, Oreo? Right, girl? Yeah? Okay, guys. Bye.